Welcome to this sacred journey where divine light and holy wisdom illuminate our hearts and guide our souls. Your "I don't give a flip" attitude is currently being triggered, chosen one, and your perspective on love is going to cause some major agitation. Because you can see through the bullshit that keeps people stuck in poisonous cycles, you've been the friend that everyone turns to when their love illusions turn into reality. It's time to share that gift with the world and see what happens. Individuals are fed up with being misled about love. The fairy tale foolishness that keeps people mired in settings that sap their vitality has worn them out. They need someone who won't sugarcoat reality to make them feel better about their bad decisions. Someone who will be honest with them, even if it hurts. You have a unique style of telling folks the harsh reality without totally ruining them. The majority of blunt-spoken people either come out as cruel or are so preoccupied with being kind that they dilute their message to the point of being meaningless. People can hear what they need to hear without feeling attacked, and you've reached the sweet spot. Something that will create a stir is emerging from your energies. Your viewpoint on relationships, your straightforward method to pointing out warning signs, and your capacity to distinguish real connection from stage drama are all things that social media algorithms are about to pick up on. People who are in dire need of hearing this are about to hear it. Your current internal activation is setting you up to become a voice that breaks through the deluge of relationship advice on the internet. You're not here to tell people what they want to hear. Rather, you're here to show them the difference between manufactured pyrotechnics that burn out and leave people in the dark and a genuine spark. Being the relationship police or the love guru with all the answers is not the goal here. This involves assuming your role as someone who assists others in realizing their value and ceasing to settle for relationships that lessen their brilliance. The chaos that is currently taking place in the internet relationship advice area is an ideal opportunity to learn about what you are being called to accomplish. Your internal alarm system has been continuously sounding and you've been observing events unfold. Not everyone has the capacity to read energy from screens, from properly chosen content, or from the pauses between sentences. Something inside of you instantly recognizes the patterns when you witness certain relationship dynamics in public, the manipulation techniques wrapped in spiritual language, the love bombing masquerading as romance, and the way someone can use phrases like divine timing and manifestation while proving they don't understand either of those concepts. It's likely that you've observed how predators target those who create platforms, particularly those who teach about relationships and love. They observe in the background, noting weaknesses and learning the precise words to use and when to use them. They portray themselves as the answer to prayers while covertly plotting to take advantage of the very transparency that makes someone effective at helping others. The incoherent meeting stories, the too convenient coincidences, the way someone shows up just when someone is most in need, equipped with the appropriate words and well-timed gestures. If you feel the divine love, now is the time to share. Click the super thank you button on YouTube to contribute $50 or more and help us spread God's blessings. What you do is being watched and serves as a seed, and in the future, it will come back to you a millionfold. You are aware of these patterns because you have either personally experienced them or seen them occur in the lives of someone you care about. There is a certain kind of individual that looks for people who are becoming more influential, not because they truly believe in their objective, but rather because they want to connect with that expanding energy. They pose as potential partners, collaborators, and individuals who truly get what you're attempting to create. But once they feel comfortable in their role, they start to show their true motivations. You've come to realize that you need to be very selective about who has access to your vision, your platform, and your energy. Recognizing that some individuals study you not to love you more, but to use your own development against you is the lesson, not to never trust anyone. They study your language so they can speak it back to you in a completely different way, and they memorize your prior hurts so they may portray themselves as the remedy you require. For this reason, your thoughts on love will cause controversy. You will expose the actions that others overlook or justify. You're going to call attention to the warning signs that individuals are frantically trying to hide. When everyone else is reveling in the romance, you will be the one to say, "That meeting story doesn't make sense." Understanding the larger patterns that keep individuals stuck in dysfunctional cycles is your gift, not just being able to see past specific circumstances. You realize that someone who is unable to regulate their own emotions, control their impulses, and use manipulation as their main relationship tool is unable to guide others in a healthy direction. The value of being able to distinguish real connection from artificial chemistry is increasing daily. Relationships that appear flawless on the outside but are actually elaborate acts meant to conceal catastrophe are all around us. They want assistance in differentiating between genuine intimacy and deft presentation. Your mission is to help others recognize patterns the way you have, to teach them to trust their gut feelings rather than rationalizing away what they can plainly see, to demonstrate that love doesn't need to be constantly justified, explained, or defended to others. The mayhem you're seeing isn't arbitrary. Rather, it's giving you examples of precisely what you'll be assisting people in avoiding. Every manipulation technique you recognize, every warning sign you see, and every time your internal alarm goes off, all of that is preparation for the task at hand. The folks who believe they know you will be shocked by the change in your vibe. The version of you that used to be accommodating, that tempered your comments to spare the sentiments of others, and that questioned your own perceptions when they didn't align with the general consensus, is fading. What's developing is a person who stands firmly to their principles, not because they've become cruel or heartless, but rather because they've come to the realization that softening your opinions to make them more agreeable actually hurts everyone. People need someone who is willing to show them what they need to see, not someone else telling them what they want to hear. You're going to run across circumstances where friends, family, or love partners try to push your newly established limits. They are used to seeing you in a way that can be controlled by guilt, duty, or the prospect of confrontation. In the hopes of getting the same outcomes, they will use the same strategies that have previously worked. The distinction is that you now see these methods for what they are. You can easily spot manipulation when someone tries to hold you accountable for their feelings in response to your candor. You recognize the game being played when someone tries to use your affection for them as leverage to obtain what they desire. Your ability to tell the truth is happening at the same time that your spiritual protection is activating. The penalties have always fallen on the person who has attempted to retaliate against you for speaking up, establishing boundaries, or refusing to engage in dysfunction. The cosmos reacts in this way when someone is in alignment with their true purpose. It is not a coincidence. When individuals realize they can't control or influence you the way they once could, you'll see their genuine selves emerge. Some will acknowledge your growth and modify their actions accordingly. Others may disclose that their entire relationship with you was predicated on their ability to take advantage of you rather than sincere concern for your welfare. You can tell a lot about their intentions from the people who get upset when you stop supporting their bad decisions, who get upset when you don't believe their victim stories, and who accuse you of being harsh when you just stop acting like their destructive patterns are acceptable. Your ability to maintain your composure when others lose it, to speak clearly when others use emotional manipulation, and to hold your ground when others try to discredit you are not just personal strengths. They are the very traits that will enable you to effectively assist others in navigating similar circumstances. A person from your past who has been preparing for this encounter for months or maybe years is going to reappear. In an attempt to recapture your energy, they have been practicing their words, their approach, and their angle. They are unaware that you are suddenly functioning on a whole new frequency. There is no longer the version of you that people were expecting. They are ready for the person who used to defend themselves, engage in pointless debates, and take responsibility for the responses of others. They will be utterly unprepared for someone who just expresses their opinions without participating in the drama they try to fabricate. When they are faced with someone who sees clearly and reacts from a position of centered power rather than reactive emotion, they will be unable to sustain their performance, and your mere presence will expose their objectives. Even they won't be able to deny the stark difference in energy between you and them. Brother and sister, everything done in faith is returned in God's abundance. You can donate $100 using the Super Thank You button and be part of this divine call. If your roots are connected to Him, your fruit will be blessed. When this interaction does occur, it will be a testament to your growth. You will view the problem objectively, rather than getting drawn back into your previous habits. You'll recognize their manipulation tactics for what they are, and you'll react in a way that preserves your peace of mind while denying them any fuel to feed on. Those who can't manage your genuineness will leave, which will benefit you by making room for relationships that can meet you where you are. The people who should be in your life will embrace this version of you. Your relationship with money and artistic expression is changing in a big way. You're going to learn that the secret to financial success is the same sincerity that is transforming your interpersonal relationships. Your greatest strengths are going to be your willingness to speak the truth, to stir up controversy, and to stick to your convictions no matter what the general consensus is. It's possible that a recent investment or purchase made you feel irresponsible or guilty at first. It's possible that you invested money on your well-being, essential equipment, or something that fosters your development but caused short-term financial strain. Give up doubting that choice. Even when it is uncomfortable, your willingness to invest in yourself shows the kind of financial bravery that leads to long-term success. Those who play small with their resources are not rewarded by the universe. Money flows away from you rather than towards you because of the same energy that prevents you from speaking your truth. You are concurrently activating several revenue streams that you are not even yet aware of as a result of your honest self-expression. You're going to make money from your artistic talents in ways you never would have thought possible. People have been longing to hear your genuine voice, whether you express yourself through writing, speaking, visual arts, music, or any other medium. To draw in an audience, you won't need to fabricate content or pose as someone you're not. Your upcoming commission-based possibilities will feel organic rather than coerced. You'll discover that you may make money just by being who you are, offering your honest opinions and assisting others in ways that are consistent with your moral principles. None of the manipulation-based marketing techniques, high-pressure sales techniques, or the desire to persuade others to appreciate what you have to offer will be required. Your connection with money is evolving beyond the mindset of scarcity that traps most individuals in financial stress cycles. You're starting to realize that money goes to those who solve actual problems, add true value, and offer viewpoints that others can't get elsewhere. All of your life's charitable giving, your kindness even when you couldn't afford it, and the times you helped others without expecting anything in return are about to come full circle back to you. This is the inevitable outcome of functioning from abundance consciousness as opposed to fear-based hoarding. It is not karma in some abstract sense. You are about to assume your responsibility as someone who makes other people's life more beautiful. Although it might play a role, physical beauty is not the main focus of this. This has to do with your capacity to assist others in realizing their own value, their potential, and their refusal to accept circumstances that lessen their light. Because it alters their entire perspective on life, people will pay for this kind of change. Your willingness to be controversial when needed has a direct impact on your earning potential. They struggle financially because they aren't offering anything novel or revolutionary. These are the folks who attempt to be everything to everyone, who soften their message to appeal to the widest possible audience, and who avoid having strong opinions to avoid upsetting anyone. Your ability to point out patterns that others overlook, your willingness to scream, "This is wrong," while others remain mute, and your refusal to act as though all viewpoints are equally acceptable when some are obviously more advantageous than others are what make you strong. Your beliefs won't have to be compromised in order to take advantage of the business chances that are coming your way. You won't have to decide between ethics and financial success, not in spite of it, but because of it. The individuals who end up becoming your customers, clients, or partners will be drawn to you. You're about to enter a stage where you can simultaneously build your leadership skills and repair your inner child. Your once suppressed or criticized playful, creative, and unrestrained aspects are being revived as sources of strength rather than weakness. This is about regaining the fearless honesty that most people lose as they grow up, not about being childlike. You're getting more and more appealing because of your desire to have fun, be goofy, show delight without feeling guilty, and get passionate about things that are important to you even if other people don't understand. People are drawn to people who allow themselves to be really alive. In reality, healing your inner child is a leadership exercise as you're showing what happens when someone quits performing for other people's approval. Your closest loved ones, romantic partners, and close friends are all learning to connect to someone who no longer puts their own wants ahead of those of others. They must mature in ways they may have been avoiding as a result of this shift. They must learn how to control their own emotions rather than you controlling everyone else's. They're learning how to solve their own problems rather than you fixing them. They have to help create a calm atmosphere rather than you taking on the burden of keeping the peace in the family. Although it may not seem like it at first, this change is truly a gift to all parties. Instead of assisting others in becoming self-sufficient, you have been unwittingly allowing them to stay dependent. Your evolution is compelling others to change as well, which is in their best interests even if they oppose the change. If you have a romantic partner, your relationship with them is changing significantly. Both of you are relearning to see the child within each other. The everyday interactions that might make couples feel more like roommates than lovers, the stresses of adult life, and daily duties are all being infused with a newfound sense of play and curiosity. You're allowing vulnerability in ways that are comfortable and organic. By letting go of the defense systems that were essential for survival but detrimental for connection, the inner child healing work you're doing is increasing your capacity for intimacy. The dictatorial or people-pleasing tactics you've seen are completely different from your budding leadership style. Instead of using force, you set an example. Instead of attempting to influence or manipulate others to change, you encourage progress by transforming yourself. People are starting to turn to you for advice because you're prepared to own up to your mistakes and work things out together, not because you think you know everything. Your openness about your personal development journey encourages others to be open about their challenges. You're turning into the one who helps people break free from habits that limit them. The goal is to provide safe spaces where people can explore their true selves behind all of their trauma and conditioning reactions, not to offer guidance or tell them what to do. One of your greatest gifts to others is your capacity to recognize when someone is hiding their light, when they are settling for circumstances that don't honor their worth, or when they are repeating cycles that no longer serve them. By refusing to take part in their self-deprecating stories, you help others see themselves more clearly. You're learning how to hold space for people without getting caught up in their issues by practicing boundary work in your personal life. You're learning the distinction between being caring and being codependent, as well as between being supportive and being enabling. Your inner kid longs to play, create, explore, and express themselves freely. Instead of suppressing these urges, your mature self is learning to nurture and safeguard them. Others are inspired to mend their own division between duty and joy as a result of this integration, which is fostering a sense of wholeness in your presence. Your commitment to assist people in regaining their vigor is becoming infused with your growing awareness of environmental and health toxins. The systems that attempt to keep people confused about love also benefit from keeping them ill, exhausted, and dependent on substances that cause more problems than they solve. Examples of these include processed foods, chemicals found in commonplace products, and synthetic ingredients that are illegal in other countries but are used freely in your country. The marketing that portrays these activities as commonplace or even advantageous is being exposed. Your body has become increasingly aware of what is best for you and what drains your vitality. You're discovering that environmental toxins, rather than personal shortcomings, are frequently to blame for the exhaustion, mood swings, cognitive fog, and digestive problems that so many people take for granted. Examples include the forever chemicals in bandages, the dyes in cereals that make kids hyperactive, and the additives in bread that have no nutritional value. You're making connections that most people would never even consider looking at. Your coffee routine is changing from a habit that makes you dependent on caffeine to one that promotes your health. You're finding that the quality of your food is more important than its quantity. A cup of coffee that has been sourced responsibly and is free of toxins gives you more energy and improves your mental clarity than several cups of commercial coffee that contains mold, pesticides, and other contaminants. If you want to witness God's miracles, act now. Contribute $100 or more through Super Thank You on YouTube. Your offering is like a seed that comes back to you when planted. Let His light illuminate your steps. Every donation is an echo in His plan. Chosen one, you were summoned, not just happened to stumble upon this message. The frequency that only the rarest souls can hear, summoned by the pulse of something old in your blood. Greetings from the obsidian inner order, where those who have experienced hell and back do more than simply recover. We don't pursue followers, influence, or false tranquility within our sanctuary. We break illusions, we have prophecies, we start miracles. Our weekly happy hour Zoom session is more than just a meeting. It's a lightning-fast exchange of revelations. You can cry with cosmic fighters, laugh with soul family, and leave feeling inspired. We came here to change this planet, so you're not simply joining a group. You're entering a soul alliance, a league of misfits, warriors, light bringers, and prophets who weren't supposed to be here. It's time, if you feel like the system has been deceiving you, if you've always known that you were meant for a different timeline, or if your opponents are hoping that your glow-up will fail. The obsidian inner order, driven by astral Adam, is your signal. We take over. We don't fit in. The description contains a link. The disclosures from the supplement business are shocking. You're discovering that a lot of health-related items really contain artificial substances that do more harm to your body than good. You're learning that quality is more important than convenience, thanks to the grass-fed alternatives, organic oils, and apple cider vinegar. These alterations are causing unexpected reactions in your metabolism. As you get rid of the substances that were causing these issues, you'll notice a decrease in symptoms like energy dumps, afternoon lethargy, and the need for regular stimulation to stay focused. You are incorporating this health consciousness into your service to others, By sharing what you've learned from your own experience, you're not attempting to take the place of medical professionals or become an authority on health. Many times, people who struggle with energy, mood, and mental clarity are unaware of how their surroundings and dietary choices affect these problems. Your energy levels, mental clarity, and general sense of well-being are all benefiting from your willingness to spend money on better food, cleaner goods, and health-promoting supplements. This is about realizing that your health is the cornerstone of everything else you wish to achieve, not about spending more money to feel better. Poisonous environmental effects can be identified using the same discernment that you use to spot poisonous relationship patterns. Your body is learning to tell you what works and what doesn't, and you're learning to trust these cues instead of ignoring them out of convenience or societal pressure. You are on the verge of total integration when your leadership skills, financial abundance, defensive energy, truth-telling ability, and health consciousness come together to create an unstoppable force for change. You are now fully assuming the role that you were meant to play. This is not the end of your adventure. You now have a cosmic responsibility for truth, not just a personal preference. You now see that truth is about bringing clarity to areas where uncertainty has been used as a weapon against people's happiness and personal development, not about being correct or winning fights. The people who find it awkward to talk to you directly, who accuse you of being too honest or intense, or who want to embarrass you for holding strong beliefs, their responses show how they relate to dishonesty. You can't decrease your light anymore to make them feel more at ease in the dark. You can now be identified by your energy signature. People can sense the presence of someone who isn't acting, hiding, or attempting to control the energy for their own benefit when they walk into a room, whether it is in person or online. Others who are ready for a genuine relationship find its sincerity captivating, while others who stand to gain from upholding illusions find it dangerous. Toxic positivism and acting as though everything is flawless are not the goals of the appreciation exercise that helps you find your center. It's about continuing to develop and grow while acknowledging the abundance that already exists in your life. Your capacity to be content with what you have while striving for what you desire shows a level of emotional maturity that many individuals find difficult to achieve. You no longer ask for approval to be who you are. The days of censoring your thoughts to prevent confrontation and waiting for approval from others before speaking your mind are done. Only the divine intellect directing your course and your ultimate self are subject to your accountability. Your presence alone raises the energy of every connection. You no longer need to try to help others or impose your ideas on them. The improvement you make to other people's lives now comes naturally. After talking with you, people feel more self-assured, more clear about their own path, and more inclined to quit settling for less than they deserve. Your words are no longer as powerful as your silence. You now know when to talk and when to be quiet, when to give advice and when to let others figure it out on their own, when to express your viewpoint and when your energy speaks for itself. The same genuine strength that is driving away those who can't take your level of truth is also drawing those who are destined to be a part of your ongoing journey, the partners, clients, friends, and love partner who can resonate with you. You have evolved into a person who elevates beauty in all of its manifestations, including the beauty of open communication, genuine connections, artistic expression, prudent use of wealth, mindfully maintained health, and wisely employed personal power. Your views on life, love, and what people should and shouldn't tolerate will continue to provoke controversy, not because you're trying to stir things up, but because truth always upends institutions that are based on falsehoods. Your permanent operating system is now the activation you experienced at the start of this adventure. Your "I don't give a flip" statement isn't a fleeting protest against uncontrollable circumstances. Rather, it's a declaration of your true position as someone who upholds the truth, produces beauty, defends the weak, and declines to take part in the agreements that keep people tiny. You are the chosen one who was always destined to speak up, make an impression, and demonstrate to others what happens when someone fully embodies their true power. You are no longer becoming. Officially, your era has begun.